With that, we have unscheduled presentations for Rose Media residents. Our first resident is Lee Herzog from 25 Dartmouth in beautiful Middletown Township.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you tonight. I hope my remarks are warmly received, appreciated, and welcomed. But first, I'd like to take a moment to welcome the newest members of the board and look forward to seeing proven leadership in action during your term. The last time I addressed the board, I recalled past connections with some of the board members. Some connections were well received, others not so much. Well, tonight I have another connection to share with you. Mr. Cunningham, you and I reconnected at a meet and greet in the fall, and I introduced myself to you as Chet's daughter. I can't unsee the smile on your face as we shared memories of my dad. I don't know what memories you have of me as a teenager back in the 70s, but I hope you have fond memories of my dad when you worked together in local politics in the borough. My dad was a citizen who cared deeply about and respected his constituents. I feel certain that if he were alive today, he'd be sitting in one of these chairs tonight. Switching gears, I'd like to publicly thank and acknowledge some very special people we have working in our district. In October, I got the call no mom ever wants to get. My son was very ill, needed to go to the hospital, and I needed to get home right away. Have you ever tried getting anywhere in a hurry on a Friday afternoon on the Blue Route? Over the next month or so, my son was hospitalized twice and had hours and hours of rehab every day in the months that followed. The one thing that kept his spirits up were the messages sent to me from his school nurse at Springton, Kristen Hartner. The only times my son smiled while in the hospital was when the therapy dogs came to visit and when he got a message from Mrs. Hartner. She was a tremendous support for me during this time, and her care, concern, and compassion had a profound impact on my son. I want everyone to know what a gem we have at Springton Lake. I also want to give a shout out to Susan Howe and Sarah Devasai, who worked with the rehab teacher and arranged for homebound instruction during his recovery, and to Dr. Eleanor DiMarino Lennon. We had phone conversations, exchanged emails, and had meetings about my son's transition back to school. She went above and beyond communicating with his doctors and therapists and calmly reassured me. She said, Mrs. Herzog, I know this is very stressful for you, but we deal with this stuff all the time. We can educate him anywhere. Don't worry about that. Proven leadership at its best, and I can't thank them enough for everything they have done and continue to do to support my son. I hope one day soon these meetings will be streamed live so that everyone, not just those in attendance, can know about the hard work and dedication happening in our classrooms. Our Rose Tree Media community and the elected and appointed leadership must embrace and support the efforts of all our teachers, our counselors, and ancillary staff professionals for all they do all day, every day. They are proven leaders. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
And young lady, I'm sorry.
He's getting there.
Good.
And young lady, I have very fond memories of both you and your father. Your father was a wonderful man whom the citizens of Media should be very, very proud for all the contributions he made to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Agnes Silverman, also from Middletown